Well, hello and welcome to this English lesson about age and aging. And if you're wondering why I'm doing an English lesson about age and aging, yes, it's because I just recently celebrated a birthday, and I'm not going to say exactly how old I am, but I will say that I'm in my mid 50s. So I've been thinking a little bit lately about age. That's the number of years you have lived. And aging, the process of getting older or the process of becoming older. And I'm certainly in the process of becoming older. And I was thinking about what words could I teach you on the topic of aging. And the first one I thought of was lifespan. So, lifespan is the length of time a person, animal, or a thing lives. So, I think the average global lifespan of humans is about 74 years. I think on average, people live about 74 years. So that's the average lifespan. The other word I wanted to teach you is the word longevity. And this is a little more challenging, a little harder to describe because longevity means living for a long time. And to use it in a sentence, you might say something like, doctors were surprised by her longevity. Maybe someone lived to be 110 and they would say, wow, we were really surprised at her longevity. We're surprised at the fact that she lived for such a long time. And then similar to lifespan is the phrase or the term life expectancy. So life expectancy would mean the average number of years a person is expected to live. So as you can see, very similar to lifespan. I think life expectancy in Canada is actually a bit higher than the rest of the world. I think in Canada, life expectancy is about 80 years, 81 years, something like that. So hopefully that's in my future, we'll see. So how old am I? Well, I said I was in my mid 50s. You might also say that I'm middle age. So in your middle age, it means the period between being really young and being really old. There's no set date for middle age, but I'm definitely middle age. So when you're in your mid 50s, mid 40s, I would say you are middle age, but I'm nowhere near retirement age. So retirement age in Canada is 65. Some people take early retirement at their job. They might be allowed to take early retirement, which means they can retire at 60 or 62. But generally, retirement age in Canada is 65. So I'm in my mid 50s. It looks like I got about 10 years to go before I can retire. And then I was thinking a lot lately about how to age. Like, what am I going to do so that I can have what's called healthy aging, which would be maintaining good physical and mental health as I get older. So I want to have healthy aging. I want to go to the gym and work out. I want to eat healthy food. I want to take breaks from work so that I can rest my mind and then become really creative again. And so, on that note as well, I want to age gracefully. When you age gracefully, it means to grow older while remaining healthy, confident, and accepting of the changes. That's going to be the hard part for me, accepting the changes that will come about as I get older. And there's two other phrases I wanted to teach you. The first is to look your age, and the other one is to look young for your age. I hope I look young for my age. The first phrase, when you look your age, it means you look exactly the age you are. So I'm in my mid 50s. I probably look my age. My hair is a little bit gray. I'm a little heavier than I would like, which is quite common. As people get older, they become less active and tend to eat too much. So I probably look my age. So the phrase look your age means simply to look exactly how old you are. It'd be cool if I looked young for my age. When you look young for your age, like, I guess I could dye my hair and lose 20 pounds, and then I might look young for my age. I would appear younger than I actually am. And I guess I'm technically over the hill. There's kind of a funny English phrase, over the hill, which means to be past your prime, I guess. Here's a gentleman who I think is aging gracefully. He looks his age. He had a gray beard, but he's out cycling. That's pretty cool. Thanks for driving by during my English lesson about aging, old man. Oh, that wasn't really nice to call him an old man, but he did look older. Anyways, when you're over the hill, just pretend in life that life is a hill, and when you hit 40 or 50, everything's downhill from there. So I don't feel over the hill, but I guess technically I would be. Instead, I feel young at heart. When you feel young at heart, it means you still feel like a little kid when you're doing all of the things in life. I definitely feel young at heart. I know a year ago when I was playing in that baseball game with students and ended up injuring myself, I felt young at heart. I felt like I was able to do it. I had a youthful attitude despite being older. And then I really hope to live to a ripe old age. In English, when you say that you want to live to a ripe old age, or when you say someone lived to a ripe old age, it means they lived to be 85 or 95 or even 100. I would love to live to the ripe old age of 95. That would be a great target. And then I just think the other phrase, was there one more word? Yes, lifelong. So when something is lifelong, it means it lasts your entire life. So I have some lifelong goals. One of my lifelong goals is to go for a walk 4 or 5 days a week. One of my lifelong goals is to eat healthy. One of my lifelong goals is to have muscles now so that when I'm 75 or 85, I still have muscles, which is very, very important, by the way. I did a lot of reading about aging this month, and that's a very, very important thing to do, is to make sure you maintain muscles so that when you're older, you still are strong enough to do the things in life you enjoy doing. Anyways, thanks for watching this little English lesson about aging. I really enjoyed making it. I'm not enjoying getting older, but hey, that's life. That's just the way it goes. If this is your first time here, don't forget to click that red subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you want. I do really enjoy reading them, and I'll see you next week with another English lesson. Bye.